Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Compa Talk podcast. Today we have a special guest, a good friend of ours, Lola. Lola, I've met her how long ago was it? Like 5 months ago? You wanna say?
5 months, 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months, something like that. But yeah, she's a little newer to the whole EA/slash FIFA scene. But yeah, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right. I go by Misslola, and we basically I came into the FC community last 7 months ago, about 7 8 months ago. Came in at the tail end of FIFA 23, and I didn't know what I was doing. So I was kind of like just bored of the games that I was playing, looking for something new, and a friend was like, "Oh, why don't you try FIFA?" And I was like, I don't really know much about football, but I took it as an opportunity to try something new, learn a new sport. I played sports growing up, but basketball was my sport, so I would watch that and play that. So now I'm coming in learning a brand new sport and a brand new game, and I kind of just fell in love. Like it was just so much fun to me, learning the players, learning how to play. What passes are what. So I've been having a lot of fun basically. So yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, now we're going into FC, and it's just been a blast.
yeah, obviously, like throughout the time though, like there's a lot of things and a lot of people that you just recently met and stuff. So there's a lot of people that
Hmm.
probably don't know much about you. They just probably heard of you, or like they've been around. But no, like Lola's actually like really really cool. So if you guys have an opportunity to like check out her stream or whatever, make sure to check it out. Everything will be linked down below. But yeah. So Lola, like, what got you into streaming though? Like, like what was like one of the reasonings as to like why you headed towards that direction? Like just in
Um,
general.
well, a lot of friends, have always been like, "Oh, why have you thought about streaming?" I never had thought about it before in my entire life. And one day I was like, "You know what? I play video games every night, like just to unwind when I get home from work or from whatever I'm doing." And me and the guys, like, we would just hop into like a PlayStation party chat and play basketball. And that was like our just downtime, and we would, chat and help each other through things. So my entire life really was me playing games. And one day, I played with a Twitch streamer in 2K. And so I didn't know what Twitch was. And she was like, "Oh, this is my channel." So I went there, made an account and started watching Twitch. And a couple months later, everyone would be like, "Oh, Lola, when are you going to start streaming? When are you going to start streaming?" And I was like, yeah, I'll give it a try. So about, I want to say 2.5 years ago, I bought a PlayStation 5 camera, hooked it up, and just started streaming straight off my PS5, and it kind of just took off.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how I started. I'd never really thought about it, but I was like, I mean, if I'm playing the game, I might as well turn my camera on and see where it goes.
Yeah, and obviously, like, I think it's one of those things for me. Like, I think everyone has a different sort of like journey towards like the reasonings why they got into like content creating or whatever. Like, everything's a little bit different. So, like, obviously, a lot of people know that like I got into it because obviously I had met Casey through a TikTok, which is kind of crazy because I'm just scrolling on
It's wild.
TikTok. Yeah, so I'm scrolling on TikTok one day and I see like Casey's like username. I'm like, oh, she's from Chicago. That's pretty cool. So I ran into her and like I just ended up watching her. And then I was like, okay. So then I got cool with Honda. That's where I met Honda, by the way. Shout out to Honda
Mhm.
and Rayan because they're the two people that helped me out when I was like first started streaming. But like it all kind of just followed through and it kind of just trickled down. So it's kind of crazy how like everyone's journeys are just a little bit different. They're not like too different, but they're very like it's we all get here in a different way, but like our paths are all like very similar. Go ahead, Honda. See, you want to say
There's a
something?
uniqueness to it when it comes to streaming and stuff like that. For example, all three of us, we have a different journey. Lola
Yeah,
has already got in her partner, right? John, I'm pretty sure is on his way, right? Just keep up the consistency.
yeah,
Me,
we gotta be a little more
however,
consistent for that,
right,
but
I need to be even more consistent than you because obviously right now, obviously I got my limitations, but that can't be an excuse. I gotta just keep grinding to where I need to get to. But yeah, like you said, right? We've had people who have pushed us up. Lola, who would you say like in the streaming world has pushed you towards? streaming in general?
It would probably be my homie Sammy. So me and Sammy have been friends for about 12 years, and he's one of like my best friends.
Mhm.
And a lot of times, like when I first started my streaming journey, he was with me. Like he's always with me. He's like been my A1 day one, you know?
Mhm.
And a lot of times, like if I'm having a bad day, or like this someone says something like messed up in the stream, and like he would just like talk me down, and like it's okay, it's gonna be okay, like we just gotta keep like just keep going, keep going, keep going. And so he's helped me like keep my head like on straight for a while. And like as streamers, like we talk about being consistent and being building a community. Really, it's like basically it's like seeing your friends, but
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
your phone or your PC. And
Yeah.
so I want to hang out with my friends every day,
Yeah.
But for me, like when I turn that camera on and I see people in the chat, and it's like people who are there every day, and we just chop it up and how's life, and we talk about stuff. Sometimes we get really deep, but then there are days where it's hard and something happens, someone says something, and it hurts you. And so there are those tough days too, but it's really important to like surround yourself with people who are gonna like lift you up and support you during those like down times.
And I think to piggyback off that point though, like there's a lot of, I feel like a lot of things, like a lot of people don't realize when it comes to like how difficult it is to continue pushing yourself to like create content, right? Because we talk about, like I talk about this a lot, like on stream, like even before like we like met each other or whatever, but like it gets to the point where like I think the certain games only have like a certain amount of lifespan, and there's certain limitations that you can do with it. Obviously, like I'm trying to grow outside of that, so I do multiple different things outside of just what it is playing FIFA in general. But like, um, there's certain limitations. So like when you get to the point of the year where it's like it's really slow and like there's not much to do. The game's kind of boring. Like there's not many things to do. It's just it's difficult. And I think what people fail to remember is like when people come back and like you can hang out, like I'm even for me, like you don't, it doesn't have to be that like many people, but like just to see like the homies come back to to the stream, and then just kind of just like have conversations every day and see each other every day, like that to me is like what keeps me motivated in terms of doing stuff like that, because like when you don't have it, it's hard to keep kind of like pushing forward. And I think that that's part of like one of the things that people don't really understand, because everyone thinks like, oh, like they're a big streamer, they have their partner, like everything is so like everything is swimming, everything is cool, but like sometimes it's very difficult, like even I'm assuming even for you too, like it's hard to keep on that level of motivation every single day when times get hard. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of people don't really see, like the work that also goes behind the scenes. Like we know each other, like we talk every day, but like I know when you get off stream, you're still sitting here playing this game for 6-7 hours on top of the 8-hour stream you just had. Like there's a lot of other things that goes on that a lot of people don't really understand. So like I want to like shed light to that, because it's like that's one of the things where people, I don't know if they, there's a lot of appreciation that needs to go to that a lot of people don't see. And like not just you, but this is a lot of people in the community. Like a lot of people put in a lot of work that isn't seen. So like it's just hard. Like it's one of those things, like I said, like it's very difficult. So
it's the grind and the dedication that they put in off of the stream as well too. Because for example, let's just go with a different streamer, Casey, right?
yeah.
Not only is she doing stuff on stream as well, but she's doing stuff off stream and beforehand, right? Before she was working for the Chicago Fire, she had to work for the Chicago Fire. She came back, she came to streaming. She did content creating, right? And then I think it kind of did take a toll on her to where she was like, okay, do I take a risk to do something that I love as well too, or do I continue this path that I'm going on? And she ended up going for the content creation side of it.
So to kind of piggyback off that point, like Lola, like what was the decision or the point where you decided to kind of just go full time with like content creating?
So my entire Okay, so a little background.
Okay.
I've had a lot of different jobs. Okay, and I went to school to be a nurse. Not a lot of people know that I am certified as a
Mhm.
nurse, and I worked in a hospital for like 6 years. So going from doing that, and I was like, you know what, my heart's not really in this. Like I didn't didn't want to be a nurse, and it just wasn't it. And so I've had countless different other jobs as well. And every time it's like, Lola, like you keep like changing jobs and doing this and that, but like what's going on? I'm like, it's just I want to wake up in the morning and be excited
Mhm.
about working.
Yeah.
And if I'm waking up like just to go to work and to I don't know, like it just wasn't
I get
it.
what you
Like I
mean.
want
I get what you mean
to,
though,
I
because like I
want
was
like
there.
to be happy. Like, oh my gosh, I want to love my job.
Yeah.
Right. So when I started streaming, it was part-time, and I would work from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. I'd come home, I'd stream from 6 p.m. to sometimes midnight, sometimes even past midnight, and go to sleep, maybe get 4 hours a night, and then go back to work the next day, do it all over again. And that was like 5 days a week. And then I got partnered while I was streaming part-time. And I was like, you know what? Like I really enjoy this, and I'm seeing a lot of improvement. Like my viewership was going up, and like the engagement was going up. And I was like, I really enjoy like making content. Like it's fun to me. And I realized that, you know what, like if this is something like I want to do, like I just need to jump in and do it. So
Yeah.
I ended up quitting my job, and I was like, I'm just gonna go full time, and let's just see where it goes. And that was really ultimately the decision, is because I realized how much fun I was having and how much I was enjoying myself the later end after work,
Mhm.
when I'm still working, but I was actually enjoying it. And I was like,
Yeah,
you know what,
because
if I could make this like a full-time thing, and do this full time, instead of being like, oh my gosh, I have to go to work again at 7 a.m. You know,
yeah.
it
Yeah,
just
no,
it just
I
works.
feel that. I feel that because like I don't know, like I feel like for at least for me now, like I've changed jobs since, but like when I first started streaming, I was waking up at like 3 a.m. to go to work. So I was
Mhm.
waking up at 3 a.m., going to work, getting back home at 5, streaming at like 6, 7 o'clock to like 11, going to sleep, doing that again. And it's like, I think that kind of just also took a toll on me. So when I
Yeah.
switch jobs now, it's a lot easier now to do stuff, but I always still look forward to like the back end of the day where it's like, oh, I can't wait to go home because I can't wait to go hang out with my friends, like
Yeah.
that's like the thing where I to that extent, but there's a lot of also like there's a lot of difficulties when it comes to like going full time. There's a lot of people don't like see,
Yeah.
but you know, but ultimately, like, yeah, like that's I think a lot of streamers go into like a lot of people stream, and some people stream for just because they enjoy it and they don't really either they don't really want to go into it to like become full time and they just want to do it on the side, or that's their end goal. So like I think it's definitely one of those things where a lot of people that I know that are trying to do that, like I know they're putting in hard work. So shout out to you guys, because at the end of the day, like I said, there's a lot of people here that their work or their hard work doesn't get appreciated as much as I feel like it should. So shout out to them. But I wanna touch on the point where like this is one thing I haven't asked anyone else. So I want to, what is the earliest like memory you have of playing video games? Because that's one thing that I haven't touched on with anyone else that I'm just interested to know.
Um,
Yeah.
earliest memory of video games is probably I till this day. It could even possibly be earlier, but I have a very distinct memory of
Mm-hmm.
being at my aunt's house, and my cousin had a Super Nintendo,
Okay.
and he put on Super Mario. And we were just like, I don't know, I don't even know how old I was, to be honest. I was younger than 10. I was younger
Okay.
than 10. And I just remember like watching him like jump and hit like the boxes with his head, and the coins like popping up. And as a kid, I was like, oh my gosh, this looks like so fun. And he's like, here, do you want to try it? And so I started like, the controller
The
back
long
then was like
ones,
a little long like rectangle with like 2 buttons, and you just walk. And so I was like, okay, and like I started walking, and honestly, I fell in love. Like Super Mario till this day is one of like my favorite games. I played it on the Super Nintendo, and then when Nintendo 64 came out, I played it on the Nintendo 64, and I would go back and beat it all the time. Then it came out on the Wii, did it on the Wii, you know. So I mean, I love Mario, but yeah, that's probably the earliest memory I have of me playing video games. But since then, it just kind of took hold. And you know, like I have like my PS2 and play Crash Bandicoot on there, or you know, on my N64 we play Tony Hawk Pro Skate. And I still remember like in the mall, like skating over to get the letters, you know. Like
my first game was actually it wasn't FIFA, it was close, but it was Street Fighter. That was like my first like memory, because I used to have like, you guys remember like the Game Boy in color? Like, so like each of my siblings had one. We all had one. Mine was yellow. I had Pokemon Yellow with that, by the way. I don't know where that cartridge is. I know that's worth money now, but I had Pokemon Yellow on mine. My sister had Street Fighter, but we would always play Street Fighter like on there, and we also had it on the PS1. So like back then it was like Street Fighter versus SNK, which I remember like very vaguely, like playing it with my dad a little bit, but I remember mostly playing with like my brother. And like, I don't know if you guys know the Street Fighter characters, but you guys know Blanca, the guy that just like shoots off the like electricity. He was the one that I would main like all the time, because all you do is sit there and you would just like hit spat like
don't tell me you know rat.
You spam the square. So you're over there like sitting, right? And you're just waiting for them. Yeah, you just, because it's the easiest way to win. Like you get close up and just start spamming. Like, but I mean, I was like what, like 4, like 5, like I was young, like but we were like,
you know what, you were a kid.
Yeah, you know, like you don't know, but you realize that this works. You're winning. You know, at the end of the day, you're a kid. You want to win. Like that's what I would do. But yeah, that's like one of my like things where I always wonder like what gets people into like the gaming section, because there's a lot of, I feel like nowadays, like towards the back end, like after COVID, a lot of people started getting back into it, because obviously there wasn't much to do other than just kind of stay in the house, you know, and just kind of be, you know, playing games or whatever. But like I know that a lot of people got into it young. So Honda, like, what was yours?
Damn, there's a lot of games that I used to play like at first, but shoot, because I'm just thinking back, right? I'm trying to go through all the games that I went through. Halo, Pokemon. I think it was, damn, I can't really remember. It's like way too far back. I'll be real with you. I can't remember right off the top of my dome. FIFA as well too was one of the mains, like the first ones. That's why I'm like, I'm attached to it, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm not gonna play it now.
It's gone to the point where it's like too bad for you to play.
Like, yeah, that's the thing. And like growing up with it, I probably would be one of the FIFAs, to be fair to you. Like,
yeah, because the first FIFA I played was like 05. Like I'm like Lolo, when I tell you I've been playing this game for years, like I'm telling you, I've been playing this game for years. Like it's crazy. And I know you were playing 2K for a while too, though. So
yeah,
like
my first one was 2K3. It had Allen Iverson on the cover, and I loved AI back then. Yeah, I loved AI back then. I think I was in like 6th grade, and my mom got it for me like for my birthday, but it had already been out for months.
Yeah,
and
AI was a different beast.
Play a basketball game.
So annoying.
Because that was my first basketball game. Like anytime I played video games, it was always like, you know, Mario or Tony Hawk, or I never played like a sport game. It was always just kind of more like interactive games. And then I was also attached to like my Game Boy, and like me, I had Pokemon Blue, and then my cousin had Pokemon Red, and then I'd finish it, he'd finish it, we'd swap cartridges, and then play the next one, and then I got gold, okay, you got silver, all right, and then we swap again, you know. So we were like growing up, that's kind of like really what me and my cousin, like, okay, backtrack, I was born, and then 2 months later, my cousin was born, and then
so very close in age.
2 months later, my other cousin was born. So like we're literally 6 months apart from each other, 2. And they're both boys. I'm a girl, And so whenever we like, my family's very close, so we'd always like be together over the weekends, you know, oh, let's get the kids together. And I'm the only girl, so they'd be doing like boy stuff, and I'm just like, hey, I want to hang out too, you know. So I just kind of really quickly adapted like that tomboy personality, because they're both boys. Oh, we're gonna watch wrestling. Oh, it's Thursday Night SmackDown. Oh yes, I'm so excited to watch The Rock, you know. So for me, like, because like we're so close in age, and like we're together all the time, so I really got into like basketball and wrestling and, you know, video games, like stuff that typically like this day and age it's open for, you know, interpretation. It's for everybody. But yeah, I'm talking 25 years ago, like that they would be like, how much I've heard like, oh, Lola, this is for boys, like this isn't for girls, this is for boys. Like there was a very big like gap between what's for girls and what's for boys, you know, in at least in my parents' mind, you know. Yeah. So but yeah, I used to do all the boy things with the boys, and that's kind of just how I got to where I'm at now, you know, like athletic, wanted to play sports, and you know, sports was my life. So when the subject of FIFA came up, I was just like, okay, new sport, let's do it. And try it. Now here I am streaming it for
now she's sucked
8 hours a day. Yeah, 8 hours a day I stream, and then, you know, for another 5-6 hours I'm literally grinding my accounts off stream. So it's a lot of time and
it's not even grinding online. It's squad battles, guys. You guys know how bad squad battles is. Like
it's just boring. It's just boring.
For the life of me, I can't, like, if there's an objective that I really want to do, then I'll go ahead and I'll play squad battles, but it's not something that I want to sit here and do to get like a 75 plus pack or whatever. But Lola's willing to do it, you know, like she's over here willing to grind all that stuff out, not me. But
see, and that's what makes the difference, though, John. The dedication to it, man. Come on.
But there's levels, and I feel like I at least from everyone that I know, I haven't seen someone like to that extreme of that dedication where you're sitting here even after playing that game, playing squad battles, being bored out of your mind, like just to get a couple packs just for your stream. You know what I mean? That's like what I mean in terms of
content,
like
man.
That's because she's built different.
But that's what I mean. A lot of people don't know that though. So that's one of the things where it's like it's one of the things that like I said, I want to shed light to as well. But you also I want to touch on the subject of basketball, because you had said that it's something that you got into. Mm-hmm. So like talk to us about your basketball journey, because I know you were actually pretty good at basketball.
I started playing when I was like 6, I want to say, and it was just at school, and then, you know, I don't know how your guys' school was, but like I went to a private school, and like it was a very small class. Like we had like 30 people in our class, and during our lunch break they'd give us like, you know, let's say an hour lunch, and like basically 40 minutes of it would be like us being able to like play sports or do whatever, and then like we would just eat for like 20 minutes and then, you know, go back to class. So me and the boys, like, all right, lunchtime, let's go. We grab a basketball, we play like 5-on-5. You know what I mean? Every day at lunch. And then, so I had, you know, my practices there, and then I had practices here, and I just kind of like, I just loved it, like watching it. Like I just have the fondest memories, like on weekends or like during the week at night, like we'd be at my aunt's house, and like me and my cousins, my older cousins, like I like aspired like to be like them, right? So they'd sit down, the Laker game is on, and it'd be like, okay, like I'd go like sit next to them, like let's watch the Laker game. And like that's how like my love for basketball started growing, because I just wanted to spend time like with my older cousins, you know. And so that's kind of where I started.
So not the Clippers.
No.
Ooh, fuck that,
there's only one true team in Los Angeles, and that's the Lakers. across the locker room, like they rent it out. We give them space, because we're kind, but we like them to get their own arena and go somewhere else.
I think they're moving soon. I think too.
Yeah, but move out of LA. Like you're not Los Angeles team. Like go somewhere else. You could be San Diego Clippers. Like go be San Diego Clippers. Like that's fine.
Nah, out of California.
Yeah. But yeah, so like
what's the state that needs a basketball team?
Huh?
What's the state that needs a basketball
Washington could take them. They need to.
Yeah, Washington could take them. Seattle Clippers, man.
Seattle could take them. Nah, they're gonna rebrand.
Seattle lost the Supersonics, so
Yeah.
Go with the Supersonics.
Yeah, that's just kind of how it started, and I fell in love with the game and watching Kobe. Growing up, it was just like I was watching greatness. Honestly, it really was, and like there's no words that like can explain like what a motivation like he was for me. Not only in basketball, but just the way like he carries himself, like his mentality. God rest his soul. Like we lost a really good one, like so young, but just his mentality. Like just. Like I literally move with mama mentality. Like it's just become like a thing for me. Like that's why when you ask me like how do you grind this game like after streaming it for 7 hours, like I'm determined to make a name for myself and to provide content like for the people that come and watch me every single day. So for me, like that determination is what like sets people apart from others. When you're determined and you have a goal set in mind and like you do nothing, I literally will do nothing to stop me. Like this is, if I put my mind to it, I'm gonna make it happen no matter what. It's because I said so. You know what I mean? So that's just how it is. What's up, Anda?
Kobe literally had 2 careers, one as an 8, one as a 24, and like people forget this, right? Like, okay, maybe in the GOAT conversation, fine, 2 of them are above him, but like people forget like the career he has had doesn't always amount to like what he won, right? And even though he did win quite a bit, like they keep disrespecting his name, right? Saying, oh, he wasn't all that. And I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of that shit, bro. Who do you think is the GOAT? And they come out with some random name. I'm like, nah, fuck it.
They come out with some random.
And it's not even. Yeah.
Shout out to Nick. Shout out.
No,
to
Nick. my GOAT forever will be Kobe Bryant. But a lot of people, what they fail to like recognize or talk about is the fact that there are different eras that basketball is played in.
Exactly.
So Michael Jordan's era was Michael Jordan's era. The game was completely different than when you have prime Kobe. Now you have prime Kobe era. And then the game is also more evolved now in, let's say, prime LeBron, era. The game was different. And you could even go before Michael, you could go Wilt, and Wilt is the greatest because he scored 100 whatever points like in one game. But like we fail to recognize, okay,
they do this in all sports too.
But who were they playing against? Like who was the competition? What were the rules of the game? Nowadays there's barely any defense being played in the NBA.
Yeah, that's
defense is like there's like no
regular season basketball.
Every team is getting 100 points consistently.
100 points. Back in the day, if the Lakers scored over 100 points and kept their opponent under 100, it's free tacos. Right? It's free tacos because getting 100 was a crazy achievement task. It was great.
That was quite a bit too. That
right?
was quite a bit.
But now you see teams hitting 110, 120 like with ease. Like that defense is abysmal. Like it's gone. Like
it's not a thing.
Yeah, so like that's what I mean when I say like when you bring in the GOAT into conversation, like there's GOATs for every era.
Each era.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and so like you really have to sit and think about like, okay, what was the game like? And so
okay.
like,
But
in
I'm
that
just
point,
saying, this guy right here, he's still my goat. You know what I mean? This guy right here is my goat in
Future
my
go,
heart.
bro.
My goat in my heart.
He's
But
the next era. Next era.
I'm like, wait a minute. All right. This is my goat.
Hey, listen, I'll just point to that because you know what? I don't got nothing right now because I had someone. But yeah,
No, but yeah, like I like obviously like it's like these are players that like they have such a massive influence. So like you can tell because like now I think it's a little different now than it was back then too. Like just the amount of player movement nowadays than back then, like it's insane now because once LeBron did it, everyone started doing it. So I feel like from that point on, everything just kind of changed. But,
Also, the level of talent.
yeah,
You guys, the level of talent now is so high. There's
Yeah, it's a
so
lot better.
many great players, and like that can do so much, and they're so like versatile.
Victor
So
Wembanyama, bro. I saw him play the other day. I'm like, okay, lanky as hell,
Lanky.
but he's still fucking good, bro. Like dead ass. I like how he's playing. I want to see more of that,
yeah,
and
but
I
it's
want to
just,
see a team build around him.
but yeah, but that's what I mean. Like it's just the differences in eras, and like but that's in like every sport too. Like that's football as well. Like we went through it now. We're going through it now actually with football, to be honest, because Messi, Ronaldo, that era is kind of off to the side now, and like all we really got is Mbappe and Holland. So like,
Bro, you know what?
all we
Bro,
really got
don't even
though.
talk to me
all we
about the
really
fucking.
got,
that's all we really got. Like really,
But-
okay. The
but
Musialas,
they're
okay, there's
great
levels.
players.
Yeah, but there's
they're great.
levels. Yeah, they're great, but like there's levels, Like
True.
to the
Ronaldo
level of
and
a
Messi.
Ronaldo and a Messi, we will never in our lifetimes we will never see that level again.
Yeah, but let's be honest, like we have Jude Bellingham who's so young and
Jude's him, bro, but
literally just got his golden
the golden
Yeah.
boy
Yeah,
award
the
or whatever.
golden boy.
Golden boy.
Yeah, literally.
Copa something.
As a midfielder, being the
but-
top scorer in La Liga,
Yeah.
I see
So
that.
like you see like how much potential that there is over there and what's to come. Like I'm
Yeah.
really excited to see like what's gonna happen, especially with Real Madrid's team.
It's exciting,
Like,
but
I'm excited.
you could probably
Open
speak to
arms.
this into the point of like basketball, like for me, like that's people that I grew up watching, like
Mhm.
that I'm getting old, like it's people that I grew up with. So like you probably went through it with basketball too, like the players that you saw like in their prime, now that like have retired or since like, moved on. Like
I get it because when Kobe retired, I was so distraught. I was like, "There's no way!" Like, and
She saw Kobe in 2 primes, all right. By the way,
Yeah,
2
and I
primes
tried
for
watching.
Kobe.
I tried watching Laker games afterwards, and I was like,
Not the
"Man,
same."
this is not the same. It's just not." Like it was like I was losing my interest, Like I was like, "How is it possible that you could be so attached to a player and the team the way it was, and then that player is just like, all right, like I'm old. It's time for me to hang up the sneakers." And then now I'm watching and I'm just like, oh man, like with that spark, like it just doesn't feel like
just
it's
gone?
there
Yeah.
anymore,
Yeah,
But so I get it. But I feel like we might have some shining stars that might surprise.
I feel like the future is bright, but it's just hard to see those that level of era, like, and a lot of people get disrespected in there too, because like obviously like Neymar like had his injuries not have been Neymar in a different era, talking about one of the best players, but because he was just unfortunately in this era overshined like by everyone else.
Mhm.
His decision making was what made him overshine. And
True.
I'm not talking about that transfer to Paris. That transfer to Paris, fine, whatever. But it's the fact that, like, for example, the Brazilians of now, they just want to go, they want to party and stuff like that. Okay, he had his injuries, right? But at the same time, you would see him at his sister's party every year,
every
right?
February.
Like, yeah.
Every February you get an injury.
Okay, what is this saying about the player as well, too? Like, okay, you can enjoy some parties, right? Every now and then, but get back to work, right? And that's what people keep on forgetting to do, right? And this goes into everything that we do in life. Like, as long as you put in the dedication and the work, for example, Ronaldo, Messi, they put in the work, and that's why we saw what we saw, right?
Yeah.
Holland, he's putting in the work. He's doing what he needs to do. Mbappe, he needs to get back into putting in the work instead of like doing whatever he is doing right now, right?
Real
Because
Madrid,
he's scoring
Real
goals,
Madrid,
but
PSG.
No, it's
yeah,
Real Madrid. Oh wait.
No, no,
No, never mind.
yeah,
Then like,
it's just like what the hell, dude? Like, just fucking. At this point, I want Santi Jimenez to Real Madrid instead.
but that's what I mean. Like, okay, like those types of players. Like, honestly, to me, those types of players, I don't want them at my team. I just don't want them at my club. Like, if you're gonna be doing that at your former club, what are you not gonna do to me? Like, that's just. I just think that's just how I look at life in general. Like, if you're acting like this, like you're already showing me a tendency. Like,
Yeah.
why would I want you here? Like, you're gonna do the same thing to me. Like, it's just fucking crazy.
Honestly,
But
though,
this is thinking about going.
yeah, but I think the issue is if Mbappe does end up going to Real Madrid, they will be a crazy stacked team. I don't see that team losing. I really
Oh,
don't.
don't get me wrong.
So-
It would be a
So
crazy team.
if he does end up there and they're actually winning titles, Mbappe's not doing that. Let's be honest. He's gonna be winning titles.
Okay,
He will.
Oh,
to
you
me-
know what? No, send me back. You-
The only trophy that is eluding him at this point is just the Champions League because he won a World Cup at like 18, 19. How old was he? 18, 19 at the time? Like
Yeah,
he's
World
already
Cup.
got one of those. He don't give a fuck about that. Like you already got one. You're good. Like so I think maybe with that motivation it'll help him. But fuck, like if someone's throwing what was it like 500 million or was it half a bill, right?
It was a
Mhm.
crazy amount.
Yeah,
That's Saudi money.
if someone throws at me half a bill to save for a year, give me my money. You know, like I'm.
It was for a year, and then he would go to Madrid.
Yeah,
It was for a year, and then go to Madrid. Now he's playing with PSG again still, and it's like I see John's point. Like, why do you want a player that's gonna be doing that? That's
Yeah, I'm
not gonna
sorry,
be taking shit serious.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I see Benji in the background just walking around.
Hey, shout out Benji. Yep. That's the true special guest of this podcast today, ladies and gentlemen.
Stream mascot.
Yeah, literally.
Yep.
How many times does Stream not give him a fucking treat? Like all the time.
Sit, please. Can you sit?
Look at him.
Thank you.
He's so cute. No, but just to get back on track, like, so yeah, like obviously, like basketball was one of the biggest things that you were into. Like, I know obviously you had an injury there too. That obviously.
Yeah, I tore my meniscus and I broke my left foot. So it's kind of devastating, and really, I actually touched on this in the PlayStation interview that I did for Women in Gaming, but yeah, I had that really bad injury and I couldn't even walk because imagine not only tearing your knee but breaking your foot. So I was really like depression hit me like pretty hard because I had an offer to play overseas and they ended up rescinding the contract because they didn't want to take any injuries. And it was a really tough time in my life. It really was. And I was just like, man, like I was watching my dreams literally just vanish. And I was really upset. And so that's when I really dove heavy into playing video games and hanging out with my friends in PlayStation. Like we'd go into party chat. And it was kind of like literally my therapy. Of like I can't play it physically, but at least I have this.
Yeah.
You know? And it just kind of felt like I was playing it, but not really, because you're obviously not doing anything physical, but just being able to, read defenses or call out plays or, do this and do that during
the mental
game,
aspect of the game.
Yeah, it just kind of it kept me like going, it kept me like sane. While I was literally out here, my leg is up and like I'm just like trying to, recover.
Yeah.
So that really was what dove me really heavy into playing video games.
Yeah, obviously, like I said, and like injuries, I think like everyone, if anyone's played any sport, I think we've all been injured at some point. So it's like it's definitely hard to like come back too, like especially like after you come back from an injury where you're like quote unquote healthy, because I mean I don't feel like realistically you'll never
be really healthy.
Never really come back, but like you go back, and I feel like even for me, like when I got hurt, like I hurt my ankle, so I twisted it on a play where I was stepping, like this was on grass, by the way, so not even turf, but I stepped wrong and my cleat kind of just got cut, and I went to go turn, and like my ankle just kind of like snapped, and like it didn't completely break, it just kind of bruised. But like even after that, like that's a minor injury, what you could say like injuries come to. But like stepping on back on the field, like turning, I still get scared because like it's you still have the fear like, is my cleat gonna get caught again? Like will like like just so it's one of those things where like you go back to playing, and I don't think mentally it's always right. Like it takes you a while to be mentally back in a position where you can just kind of do stuff. And like I'm sure like if you played basketball since, like it's probably not the same when you first
when
went back.
When I first went back, I was so worried of like when you're like dribbling or like you're gonna go in and try to take a layup, and I was so scared like my knee was gonna buckle or like I was gonna tweak it the wrong way and then I was gonna re-injure myself, or even stepping like on your foot, like because like I broke the left side of my bone of my foot. So like let's say that's the foot, like right here, broken. So it was really hard to like for me to step and like be worried like that I'm gonna re-injure myself. So it was a lot of fear, like and overcoming fear to try to play. But even then, regardless, like my movements will never be 100% because of that worry of I might hurt myself again. You know what I mean?
I mean, we could always use the injury as the excuse why the penalty shot wasn't as strong as you probably like. Which leads you to my next point. Like,
listen, like, I've never played football or soccer, wherever you are, whatever you call it. Like I said, growing up, my game was basketball. I'm used to the ball in my hands, not by my feet. And so I never even really watched it. So we touched on it like 7 months. Like I've been learning a lot in game, and I also started watching to kind of help me, because what happens is like when I play basketball, because I've played it in real life, I know situationally like where I should be or what I should do, or how to read a defense and where are the gaps, where do I pass the ball, who do I pass it to, when do I pass it. So a lot of that stuff, it's really when you play, it's just kind of second nature for you. So I didn't have that with football. So for me, like coming into it, I don't know the rules. I don't know situationally what I would do or should do. So I figured, okay, best way I'm going to learn, I need to start watching. So now, I started watching maybe 6 months ago, and, whenever I get a chance, I'll, tune in, watch, and try to analyze, okay, what's being done? How is the game being played?
I just think it's next funny step is like me City. Watching City, like you just keep watching City.
Okay, so I'll explain to you why. So when I first started, 6 months ago, it was like the tail end of the Champions League, right? Yeah, was when I started watching football. So for me, I'm watching a team, City, who is so dominant, so great. Don't get me wrong, they are a force to be reckoned with. They are. And I'll be I'm the first one to say it. They're a great team. They play great ball. My issue is me coming into this sport and wanting to learn. I'm bored watching the team hold the ball for 80 minutes of a game.
Thank you.
Thank you. I can't even I want to see something happen. I don't want to see one team holding the ball and the other team can't even get past half. You know what I mean? Like they play great D. I'm here for it. Like I said, they're amazing. But when I'm trying to learn, I want to see teams attacking each other back and forth. I want to see the back and forth. That's why I was saying, I really enjoyed watching. It was friendlies. It was a friendly, but it was AC Milan and Real Madrid. And they were going back and forth, 2 goals, 3 goals. And then even Barca and Arsenal friendlies.
It helps that you're an Arsenal fan, but
Yeah, but back and forth goals, and so I could see how the movement is going in the game.
Yeah.
When one team is just so good and they're dominating the pitch, for me, like me as a fan trying to learn, it's boring to me. I don't want to watch someone hold possession for.
You learn more about the game playing squad battles than you do watching.
I do exactly. So that's just kind of where I stand with it. It's just I'm even when you see me play, like I'm very attack oriented. I like to see the attack constantly go for it.
It makes sense because when we play clubs, like that's just
I'm always running.
Yeah.
I'm always going for the run. I'm always going on the run because I like the attack. You know, the more we could score, the better. Yeah. You know, scoring is fun. It's nice.
I think pro clubs has also like helped you like understand like situational stuff a little bit more.
How to fill in spaces. Yeah. I think that's one of the main things I've learned from pro clubs is how to fill in the gaps and like fill in a space and like where I should possibly be running this way and not just straight down the ring. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's why I like pro clubs a lot more than I would like Ultimate Team because like you not only do you get to play with your friends, but like you can actually play actual football. You know, obviously we play teams that are cross. It is what it is, but at least whenever we're playing situational wise, we move the ball around. We fill in gaps. We in between the lines. It's like it makes a lot more sense to me because I'm like, this is how it should be played. And like I don't think a lot of people like approach FIFA or EAFC in that way. But yeah, it's definitely like one of those things. So like I know when I was referencing with that penalty, like how was your experience like going to like your first like event like that? Because that was your first one, no? Was Switzerland, right?
Yes. Yeah. It was crazy, honestly. So I was been playing the game for 2 months, right? So for me, it was I wasn't very confident in my skills, and I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it. It's an opportunity for me to learn. At the end of the day, everything I like to take it as an opportunity to learn something, anything. It could be the smallest thing, but if I come out of it like having learned something, I think I'm doing a good job. Yeah. So going there, it was honestly, first of all, an honor and a privilege to even be chosen to go, right? And so we ended up in Switzerland and we were at the FIFA headquarters the first day. And for me, I had been playing the game for 2 months, right? And I told you guys I don't have any football, soccer background. So I'd never kicked the ball before. Like maybe a dodgeball or something, but you know, never a football. So there was a point during our time where we got to go and like work out like on the pitch at the FIFA headquarters, and some of the girls were like taking like penalty shots, and I was like, oh, I want to try. And so they're like, okay. And meanwhile, I'm not telling anyone I've never kicked the ball before yet. So I go up there and I was just like, damn, wait. I remember like when I was younger, somebody had once told me that you don't kick a football with your toes. You kick it with the side of your foot, But I've never kicked a ball like that. I've always towed a ball, like because I've never actually kicked one. So I was like, okay, I remember, like I don't want to like embarrass myself, so kick the ball with the side of my foot. So I'm telling myself this as I'm winding up, like to take this penalty shot. And so I try, and I've never kicked a ball like that. And then you guys saw the video. It was pretty embarrassing.
Listen,
but that was my first ever penalty kick.
All I'm saying is, once I fix up one of these vehicles that I got right here, that I'll go out there and I'll teach you how to play some footy. How about that?
Yes, I'm so down.
Yeah,
I need to learn. I have some pitches like out here that I could possibly go to, but like I how am I gonna teach myself? Like I don't even know how to. So
you know what, we gotta take you back to like day one. You know, like when you're a kid in the back garden, you kicking the ball towards the wall and like
I'm down.
Working on your touches.
I'm down. I'm so down.
Like work on your touches. I'm telling you, like when
any type of ball
when we do the charity event next summer, like if you're not on the wing, like
Oh no,
Hopefully,
I'm the next Ronaldo and Messi. Stop it.
fingers crossed, we end up on the same team
Yes.
because I think that chemistry in pro clubs will translate over to IRL. Hopefully.
Yeah. Sure.
but yeah, like it's one of those things where I'm interested to see how a lot of people do because a lot of people talk a lot of shit about what they can do on the pitch IRL. So I'm just interested to see what people can actually do. And I know you're not talking shit, but like I think it would be a good time to just have everyone just kind of run around the pitch and just to see how everyone does. I think it'd be great.
Oh yeah,
dude.
I'm with it. I'm so excited for the event too. Like I feel like it's gonna be such a fun time, and yeah, I'm gonna be in tip top shape
by then.
yeah. Just wait. I catch on things very quickly. Like if you haven't been able to tell in 6-7 months, look at my ball knowledge, right? Like I've learned so much. I've come so far already, and it's only been 6 months.
What you guys don't know is Lola could have gone pro too. She just didn't sign up for the pro ladder in time, but she made Division 4, like she could have been there, but unfortunately just EA locking up the time like a week.
No, I don't want to make these guys feel worse about themselves. Like 7 months in already, could have qualified for the pro ladder. No.
Yeah, man, she already landed Donovan. That's all she needed to do.
That's wild, by the way.
True story.
Yeah,
that was a fun time.
Yeah, obviously you've gotten the opportunity to like hang out with like EA and go to the event. Like, what was it, the launch party event?
Yeah, it was the launch for
so like
24.
Yeah, obviously like for someone being like new to the scene and like being able to experience it, that must have been like really, really cool because the amount of people that you've met and like obviously you've known some people before that, but like obviously you get to meet people like in person now and it's a little different like having those dynamics. I think it's always interesting, so that's why like I'm excited for the event personally because like I just want to like hang out with some of the people that we've been friends with for fucking years.
Honestly, it's so fun when you get to like meet people, especially streamers that you watch, streamers that you hang out with, or all of those things. When you actually get to meet in person and like see them like face to face and be able to connect like in person, it makes such a difference.
Yeah.
Like it becomes like I feel like it becomes more real.
Yeah.
Like I'm not that I'm saying that like our friendships and things like that aren't real because they are, but like once you can put like a face in front of you, that instant like connection is just there.
Yeah. It's just, and I think it also expands it too because a lot of us are pretty close. Like I think, and I feel like it more so in the FC community than rather than I don't really know how the 2K community is because I was never a part of it, but it just seems like a lot of us in the FC community are very, very close. You know, like we're very we talk to each other a lot. Like everyone just kind of in the know of like we don't even have to talk to each other like to the extent where like we're really, really close. But the fact that I can reach out to whoever and they'll respond to me and like if I have a question about something like that sort of thing, like to me it makes this whole idea of like content creating a lot easier because it's like I think, and this is the way that I just have this outlook. Like it's not me against like anyone else in this space. I'm on my own journey. You're on your journey. Everyone's like, I look at it as like everyone's on their own journey. So I'm not here to like take over anyone's shit. Like I'm just here to try to help them even more on top of that. Like at the end of the day, that's just kind of how I am. Like I want to help everyone just kind of grow together. And if I'm growing and I can help other people eat, like we're all eating, at the end of the day.
If I eat, you eat.
Yeah, this is the kind of person I am. And I know like we know people out there they're not like that, but it's unfortunate. But it's nice to see that a lot of us, the main portion, I would say, is within the same kind of mentality of like trying to do that. So I think that's one of the nicer things about the community. Like obviously you've started to notice that a little bit more. Obviously you've been in both.
Yeah.
So you kind of see what.
Yeah. I mean, the support that I received when I first came in to FIFA, I feel like it was unmatched for me. everyone coming in, like knowing like I'm so new to the game, helping me out, like helping me figure out the buttons and what to do and how to figure out SBCs. And now I'm just like boom, boom, boom. But like in the beginning, it was pretty rough for me because I didn't really know what's an SBC. Why do I need to link these together? Like it was so much for me to take in at once.
And this that you're learning.
People were so helpful, and like a lot of where I'm at now, I literally learned like from the chat and the community, which I'm blessed. I'm literally blessed because they're a part of my journey, and they're a part of me at the end of the day. Like all my friends, like I consider a lot of them like really good friends, like we talk a lot, we hang out, and the support is just, it means a lot to me.
So what would you say within like this next, I guess in this cycle, what are you like aspiring to do, or what are you aspiring to like kind of just build off of, like a goal that you have?
Oh, a goal?
Yeah, some sort of like goal, or like something that you're like you hope to be able to do in this cycle.
I rank 1 for James.
Hey, there's some people that can't get 11 wins. I'm not going to name names. There's some people that can't get 11 wins, and for you to be able to get 11 wins in 7 months, I mean, it speaks a lot of where you're kind of treading towards. So like, it could happen. I'm not saying it can't, but it's just a total.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
I can't even get that.
It's the goal.
Anything that you'd want to like shout out or anything? Like anything in particular?
Just, you know what? Really, the only people that I would shout out is like basically my entire community. Anybody that comes and hangs out with me every single day, even if it's for 2 seconds, drops by just to say hello, like you guys are a huge part of my journey. And I know I say it a lot, like when I'm streaming, how much like you guys like mean to me, but really, really, really every night, like you guys make my day so much better. And I really appreciate everyone's like love and support. So shout out to all of you guys. You guys know who you are. I love you guys with all my heart.
So yeah,
thought she was gonna bring out a big scroll, bro. This.
Shit, I almost.
Hey, listen. At the end of the day, you can never. Once you start name dropping, then it becomes a whole messy, sticky situation. Everyone knows. You guys know, all of you guys. You know who you are. I don't have to. Yeah, and
people start name dropping, and they're like, "Oh, why'd you name me?" Like, bro, like, relax. Like, it's not like it's not like that.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people that take
because even then, it's like, okay, I don't like. There's so many. For me to sit and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we'll be here all day. Right, we'll literally be here all day.
Be here another hour.
Exactly.
Yeah, but just know, like, I appreciate all of you guys, and literally, like, that's it. That's just it.
Like obviously, like you're someone that I just met like 5 months ago, 6 months ago, but I feel like I've known you like forever now at this point.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, like like it's honestly like, so I'm super grateful for you too, because like obviously like a lot of you don't know this because I didn't really talk about it, but I was going through a lot of shit like recently, so I just haven't really been like present like at all. But like shout out to Lola because obviously she's helped me out a lot, so I appreciate you. But like obviously if you guys haven't checked her out, make sure you guys check her out. She's great, fantastic, always live. What is it, 12 o'clock? Yeah. Usually 12 o'clock. It would
Pacific.
Pacific
links
time.
in the description below.
Yeah, every day. So make sure you guys pop in there, say what's up. Obviously,
say what's up to Benji too. Don't forget.
Yeah. Hey, make sure you guys stay in there long enough so you can give him a little treat.
Hey, say what's up to John in the backpack. All right, he's still in there.
Yeah. There's a lot of inside jokes about that backpack. Hey, we could touch on it quick though. Like what's crazy? Like, I'll say this. You know what's crazy for me? It's the fact that I was talked about getting tossed in a backpack when there was games that we were legitimately not winning, and not because of me. And that's all I'm gonna say. I had more kills. I was carrying the group. Oh, I landed. I died. Oh, I couldn't get my gun.
But listen, every time you had a lot of kills, is because you were being a selfish player, and you were off on your own, getting kills and leaving your team behind, which is why we never actually won.
Oh, so
when you had the most kills.
No, you know what's funny though?
When I had the most kills.
You know what's funny though? There was that one day we won like 3 or 4 games in a row back to back. Like that shit was crazy. But you know what's funny? No one will ever talk about that because guess what? We had the same amount of kills. We had the same amount of kills, and no one in the chat said anything. Everyone was talking about, oh look, Lola's got the backpack on again. Like,
listen,
bro,
you just gotta embrace it.
That's why I embrace it. Look, we got the emote now. You know, there's a whole alert about it. Like, you guys will see it if you guys will pop into the chat just to save up enough points, and you guys will be able to have it. But anyways, this has been the 4th episode of the Compa Talk podcast. I'll catch you guys later. Obviously, hit the subscribe button. Links for Lola in the description. We'll talk to y'all later.
Like, subscribe.
Yeah. See you guys.